What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Suburban Nerd. This is the channel where I get my nerd views on today's nerd news. So I also do this thing that I've just started pretty much at the end, my top 10 list of whatever. So I already did my top 10 list of my favorite movies of 2018, which you should check out up there. I already did my top 5 animated movies of 2018, which you want to probably check up there. But now I'm giving you guys my top 10 worst movies of 2010. Why? Because you know what, if I did the top 10 best, might as well do the top 10 worst. So I'm gonna start off with, also remember, if you like this thing, remember to put those notifications on, like this video, and subscribe if you like this list or the way I present it to you guys. So hopefully give me guys a little bit of love, because like I said, I'm hoping to get a lot more subscribers in 2019 than I did in 2018. I'm not saying I did bad, but I need to gain a lot more, a lot faster. Anyways, so number 10 movie, worst movie to me. And remind you, this list isn't a reflection of all the movies that came out. This is just a reflection of all the movies that I've seen in 2018. I didn't have a list at the time, so there's a lot of movies I missed. So, you know, bear with me. I know your list is going to be a little different than mine. My number 10 is Pacific Rim 2. Pacific Rim 2, the reason why, and I'm not saying it's a bad movie, it's a number 10. Why? Because it wasn't a horrible movie. But when you go, after watching Pacific Rim, you know, with Guillermo del Toro, the way he directed the first one, you expect to see a lot of kaiju versus, you know, like, versus these robots. Like giant mechs versus kaiju. That's what you're planning on seeing. This was giant mechs versus mechs, and a little bit of kaiju sprinkled in at the end, and then all of a sudden there was like this whole roll come out amalgamation, and then they fused, and it's like, and then a lot of it they showed in the trailers, which like the fight, and I'm like, okay, there was a little bit more to it, but same fact, they did show it, but I just expected more. You expect to see like more kaiju that's going at it, you know, like that's what you want to see. Granted, they try to slink this whole plot, this whole underlying storyline of Charlie Day's character, and yeah, it was kind of weird, but like overall kind of failed, you know, like it didn't do that great in the box office. Actually, I don't know, I think it might have did a little good overseas, but overall I didn't think it was that great of a movie. It didn't do that great of a job executing what they were trying to do, so that's why it's my number 10 for 2018, the worst movies of 2018. So my number 9 movie is The Predator. Yes, The Predator. And yeah, I didn't give it a horrible score in my review, but if you guys also, if you guys want to check out a review, just check out, you know, like my playlist of reviews of movies, and maybe you can try and see it. But The Predator, it had so much promise. It had, you know, like what's it, Peele or Keen or Pete, whatever his name is from the Keen and Peele, whatever. He was in here, and he was an entertaining guy. It was funny. He was weird. He had some, like, a lot of one-liners. It was funny. And the group as a whole, they were entertaining. You know, them as a group. Now, where it fails was the story. The story kind of failed, and then the way they brought in the Beast, and all of a sudden the Beast gets shot in the head, and all of a sudden he's acting like a dog, and it was weird. And then the Predator's coming around, and it's like they're fighting, and then the storyline doesn't make sense, because if the Predator is trying to help the human race, then why was he killing them in the beginning to try and give them a weapon for the end? Like, you know, it just all didn't makes sense. And then all the way at the end, it's like they were trying to rush to kill all the people. In fact, the one main antagonist, I forget the guy's name, but the black guy that was in charge of the military, the way he died happened so fast, you would, if you blinked, you wouldn't even known he died. It just out of nowhere, and he died by accident. It wasn't even like he was killed by the Predator. So I'm like, damn, like I thought they were gonna redeem this dude, have him go out like a boss, like go against the Predator or something like that. Nope. Bam, by mistake, he like almost kills him, pretty much kills himself. Spoiler alert, but most of you guys ain't even gonna see this movie, but they were just killing off the people, like the guys on top of the ship. Why one guy, you know, the main character ducks down under the shield, the other guy jumps on top of the shield, and the other guy just shoots at it while it chops him off in half. And I'm like, bro, you saw what was happening, why didn't you duck down too? But regardless, this movie had a lot of flaws, story flaws. It could have done so much better. That's why it's at my number 9 worst movie of 2018. My number 8 movie. Yeah, number 8 movie for 2018 is Cloverfield Paradox. And this movie came out of nowhere. It was all the way at the beginning of the year. Super Bowl happening. All of a sudden this trailer comes out. Looks kind of badass. Cloverfield Paradox comes out when? Comes out that day, the day of the Super Bowl, comes out that night. Everybody's clamoring to see it. And then we realize why I got put to Netflix. Because this movie sucks. Movie sucks on another level. Movie sucks as far as storyline. Movie sucks as far as everything. I don't even know. It seemed like a B movie. Nothing was making sense. Why this hand all of a sudden could go talk and move and start doing it. It didn't make sense. And I was like, what's going on here? I was super confused. Anyone who watches this movie is confused. And it was just not a good movie. I can't bash it because I didn't expect a lot from it. But I'm still bashing the shit. Why? Because it wasn't good. So that's why it was my number 8 movie. Because you know what? I didn't have a lot to expect from it, but I went in and it came out even worse. So you know what? That's why. Alright, so number 7 movie it was a comedy. It was called Night School. Night School starring Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart. And the reason why I thought this was going to be decent is because on their own, they're both great, you know, comedians. Now, Kevin Hart, you know, I've seen the stand-up, I've seen the stuff on, you know, on Netflix, stuff like that. And then Tiffany Haddish, she was a standout. Why? She was a standout in Girls Trip. And, like, after that, she's been getting more and more roles. And I think she should slow down because she's just taking she's taking everything that's thrown at her way. And granted, you got to get paid, you got to get money. But at the same fact, you know, it's like you want to get a little bit of quality. But you know what? People don't think it's a bad movie when they're doing it. It's only a bad movie once it's done and you realize, oh shit, it's a bad movie. So, sorry to say, but this wasn't a good movie. Their chemistry, I thought would have been a little bit better. Both of them being comedian. It seemed like they were trying too hard to play off of one another. It just wasn't working out. And then, like Kevin Hart, I did not like his character. His character's not likable. The story, in the school, the way they're trying to do the things. And then the montage of him taking the test, and all of a sudden, oh, he passed. Like, it was weird. I was like, so that's what it was building up to. And the funniest part was all the way at the end when he was, you know, thanking his dad for, you know, saying he wasn't shit and putting him down, just making his dad feel embarrassed, and he's just going down just like, you know. But other than that, the movie, I did not enjoy it. It was not funny. I expected it to be funny, but it just turned out not to be, and I was sorely disappointed for it. So that's why that movie is my number 7 for worst movies of 2018. My number 6 movie for 2018, worst movie for 2018, is The Nun. Why? The Nun, just simply why? Why was this made? Why did we have this? Why did you do this? Of course, you guys know The Nun is a spin-off of the Conjuring universe, where they're doing spin-offs with the Annabelle doll. I wanted the Crooked Man, not The Nun. The Crooked Man from Conjuring 2 was the thing. I was like, oh shit, that looks really cool. But the also, damn, I swear to God, these police. Sorry. But the Crooked Man I would have preferred that, but The Nun is what we got. And The Nun was just, all it was people doing stupid things that, you know, like, why are you doing that? In fact, The Nun itself showed the people how to beat him. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And then the way he got beat, and then, like, yo, the girl, the nun, I swear, the way she got the blood in her mouth by breaking the glass, sucking it into her mouth, underwater, I swear, her suction skills must be top notch. Yo, Superhead has nothing on this chick if she can suck blood out of a tube of water underwater without diluting it. I swear, I don't know how, because it was straight up pure red that she spit in her mouth. It wasn't water, it wasn't red water, it was pure red, it was straight blood. So for her to get that in her mouth, underwater, breaking the case to it, like, it just, I don't know. But the movie sucked. There's so many jump scares. They tried jump scares way too much. That was all it was about, just jump scares. But you saw what was coming. You saw these jump scares coming. You saw people, like, if you see this person at the end of a cemetery, why the hell are you gonna move off your path? You're going, it's right there. You see where you're going. But oh, you know what? No. Why are you gonna do this? So it made no sense. So I'm like, these people did way too many things, too many tropes as far as doing the stupid things in these horror flicks that it just like, it just was so bad. It was so bad. I didn't even watch it a second. I watched it the first time, and then my boy went to see it. I was gonna sit a second time, and like we was like, oh, we're done. We don't need to watch this, and we were done. So that's why I put this movie at my number 6 for worst movie of 2018. My number 5 movie, worst movie for 2018. Surprisingly, it's a Batman movie. Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja. Who would have thought? I saw this movie late. I was late to the game with this movie, and I went in expecting some awesome, because you see Batman, you see him in a samurai suit, you see the Joker. Visually, everything looked so awesome and epic. In the trailers, I was like, I was so hyped, you don't understand. Then I went into it, and Batman's a dumbass mother effer. He was dumb, Somehow Joker's able to sneak up behind Batman. Yo, he could have slit his throat. Joker sneaks up on Batman, not the other way around. And then like you see a ploy, like he's fighting the Joker. All of a sudden, this woman out of nowhere appears on the ground, cradling her baby somewhat. It's you're like, and so like Joker starts trying to go attack her. Like, because he knows Batman's gonna go after her, and he falls for it. Like, the girl came out of nowhere. You really gonna suspect that was, no, of course it was. It was a ploy. It was Harley Quinn. Why are you falling for these stupid tropes, man? You're Batman. You're smarter than this. And they made Batman just so stupid. Batman wasn't smart. And then, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let that slide or whatever. Then you have this big fight. All these cities, they're robots. All these cities rolling, they're robots. And then these robots combine into a bigger robot. Holy shit, what, really? And then what happens? You got Batman. And then Batman's fighting with these monkeys. And these monkeys turn into a giant monkey and starts fighting the big Megatron, or the what's called Power Ranger Mega Robot. And then, if that wasn't enough, bats come out of nowhere and then go over the monkeys and make a giant Batman, and then Batman starts fighting them, and then he starts showing up, and then he jumps and he teleports out of nowhere and starts fighting them, and then they're fighting on a roof, and then all of a sudden it's like magic, because they're just straight up, Batman's teleporting and turn into bats, and then turn into, I'm like, what's going on here? Is this, what logic is this? And I granted it's an animated movie, but still they did a horrible job as far as conveying, what's this futile Japan. And I was just lost. I'm lost. I visually it was amazing. Visually it was stunning. It looked great. Cinematography was great, but it just failed on so many levels. As far as like the way they ended it. Although the end fight was kind of good, but like it was too much magic. It just didn't seem right. The whole thing I was looking forward to was when Batman was like, all right, I got to get back to the basics and take him out. And I'm like, yeah, get back to the basics. And then also was magic. So I'm sorry, but that's why that was my number 5. I know I'm rattling on about it too much, but number 5 for my worst movies of 2018 is Batman Ninja, or Ninja Batman, whichever way you want to say it. Number 4, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Now, number 4 seemed like a cool premise, right? You got this kid, finds this like super cool gun, and then something happens to his parents or whatever, and he's on a run with his brother, and apparently there's these people in super soldier suits that are chasing after him. That are going after him, and they're on the run from them. Or that's what they make you think in the trailers. Nope, they don't even know about these super soldiers in a robot suit. The kid finds a gun, a bunch of dead bodies, and then he runs away and comes back, and all of a sudden the gun's somewhere else. I don't know why. It's just thrown down in a hole, which I'm like, if you were there to take the gun, why don't you just take it? Why throw it down a hole? The kid finds it, and then go through this whole thing with the brother, and the brother, he's bad news, and they rob these people. Then they get caught on TV, which I'm like, you're stupid for going out in public like that. And somehow in Vegas, there's news from like a Wisconsin or something like that. Really? Like there's a dead body in Wisconsin is gonna show up in news in Las Vegas? Really? But like I said, it was stupid. And then Michael B. Jordan showing up at the end. Why the hell did you do that, bro? You have so many great movies. Why the hell did you put yourself in this movie? It was a piece of shit. You shouldn't have done it. I don't know why you would do it, but it was sorry. Don't do it. Oh my god, it was a waste. It was a waste of talent and a waste of time. This movie was just like, and then they're saying the kid is someone from another dimension. But like, if he's in trouble, why is he safer? Like, you didn't even train him. You're just gonna leave him off on their own? Like, really? That's how it's gonna work? The brother's going off to jail. You, like, the girl, the stripper's there. You got, like, I don't understand. This movie just didn't make sense. I don't know why it was made. That's why it's my number 4 movie of 2018, the worst movie. My number 3, Mile 22. Holy shit. Marky Mark, why you do this, bro? Why are you doing this? Marky Mark, this movie, it was like this movie had ADD, because the camera could not stay still. It kept changing, it kept changing like positions every like 2 to 5 seconds, literally 3 to 5 seconds. Literally, if you counted it, it would not stay still. It was like you needed to give this thing like some Ritalin or something, because the movie did not know how to focus, and it made me start to feel nauseous watching the movie. And in action, granted, you got the dude from The Raid. It's like badass dude, and the action was pretty cool when it just stayed still, or when they just showed him fighting. But other than that, Mark Wahlberg, he was doing this thing where he's clicking. Like, I don't understand what that had to do with it. Apparently he was super smart. They did this quick montage of showing how much of a genius he is from getting brought into the FBI or whatever, but then all the way to but it didn't really amount to anything, because it was just him with a group of people trying to survive and shoot. And the movie just didn't make sense and wasn't that good. So sorry, Mark or Mark Mark Wahlberg. It just wasn't a good movie. That's why you're on my number 3 worst movie of 2018. My number 2. I give this movie, it was, you know what, I wouldn't have, it would have been kind of like lesser on my list. Like, it probably would have been 10. But because so many people ride the dick of this movie, I just had to say it. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. Quiet Place. Quiet Place is not that great of a movie. These people are horrible parents. How the military didn't figure out the sound can affect these things? Really? The way the kid died? You were bad parents. Why is a kid, a toddler, trailing behind 2 adults and then the younger brother and sister? Should have been 1 adult in the front, 1 adult in the back, kids in the middle. That only makes sense. Why does sister give back the toy with the batteries? Why? When you could have given the toy back and just keep the batteries? I don't know. Logically, maybe when Emily Blunt steps on that nail and she hurts herself, maybe you would thought she would have bent it so none of her kids or someone steps on it again. No, leaves it up. So why? Why did so many people love this movie when this movie did so many jobs wrong? And granted, I'll give it great that the director, first time directing the movie, he did a good job. And the sound design, everyone was quiet during this movie. It was great. The way he did it, and then directing people holding their breath, he directed it good as far as that. But plots, the plot holes left and right, people are just ignoring this shit. I can't. That's why it's my number 2. Because I just couldn't take it no more. I'm sorry, but that was it. That was why it was my number 2 movie of the year. Everyone's dick riding it so much that it just kept pissing me off, and it finally just got the number 2. My number 1 worst movie of 2018 is Mortal Engines. Why? This movie has so much potential. Directed by no, it wasn't even directed. They promoted like it was directed. It was produced by Peter Jackson, the guy that did Hobbit, the guy that did Lord of the Rings. He did all these amazing movies, and then he come out and do this movie. Story sucked. Plot sucked. Hugo Weaving finally comes back and does a movie. He's bad as the main antagonist. Wasn't even that good as it. You got these 2 protagonists. You didn't really care. The best actor was a zombie cyborg. And then the Asian girl, Ada Fang or whatever her name is, she was so badass. They should have killed like 10 people in a row. But yet when it comes to the main antagonist, this guy that's pretty much an archaeologist, you're having trouble killing him, and he somehow stabs you and you die? But then the reason why you're going in there, why the girl went in there, and she wasn't a technology whiz, the guy was a technology whiz. He should have gone in there to stick in the flash drive instead of her. But all this thing, and then they try and do a whole Star Wars I am your father moment at the end that amounts to nothing. And then visually this movie was great. The city's moving around, everything going, the city's behind the dam. I loved it. But this movie just sucked. I'm sorry, I couldn't take it. That's why it was my number 1 worst movie of 2018. It sucked on so many levels. I couldn't even take it. I got angry watching it because it had too much potential. So remember, if you like my list, remember to put those notifications on, like the video. Remember to check out all my other things that I have on it. Subscribe, check out my last list, check out my playlist of shows that I watch. And remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Sub Urban Nerd, and you've just been notified. Catch you guys on the next list.